What's up guys, it's me Jeremy. Sometimes when you're playing a lot of League of Legends, you end up wanting something different. You gotta mix it up a bit. Sometimes it's as easy as swapping your build or ability leveling if you're a one trick, or a champion switch if you main a lane, but if you want to try a different lane you've not really got that much experience with, it can be pretty intimidating. So today we've got you covered because we're going over some of the best champions to play for learning a new role. These champions are fairly easy to understand, they have fairly straightforward kits, they bring a great amount of utility and versatility to a team, they've got a good laning phase, and they've got clear power spikes, so it's great for new players to play the champions and get used to the different dynamics of their new roles. So we've selected 2 champions for each role, and let's jump right into it. So if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and let us know in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe for some more videos. And this video is going to be sponsored by ProGuides.com. ProGuides is a guide website with the intention to helping you become the best player that you can be. They recently released a new and fun way to learn League of Legends. You can choose a course to study and earn points for answering questions with personalized data tracking. And you can also talk to a challenger player to get personalized help or ask questions 24/7 at any time using the website. Try it for free at the link in the description, and let's jump right into the video. So let's start off in the top lane and work our way down. So for the top lane, we've got Malphite and Garen. Malphite's on the list because I gotta say he's just pretty easy to play. He's actually probably also one of my personal favorite top laners to play as well. He's very valuable to a team with his incredible ultimate, that immense crowd control, and just tank potential. He's probably one of the easiest tank champions to play since the main gameplay involved with him is just using his ultimate. His abilities are all fairly straightforward. His Q is a targeted ability, his E is a good wave clear, his W kind of just auto attack modifier, it's very simple, very straightforward, and his ultimate still allows you to make tons of really awesome plays and have a great time. The point being that with Malphite you can spend less time trying to learn the mechanics of the champion itself and instead dedicate your time and mental focus to learning the ins and outs of top lane as a role in general. And every now and then you can play Malphite and do a YOLO AP build where you just one-shot the enemy carrier with your ultimate. Garen's definitely another great tank pick that can do considerable damage. He's actually a decent counter pick to a lot of the popular top lane champions at the moment too. He can be a pretty big bully in lane, he's got great regen. That passive is just so awesome for players that are new to the top lane. It really lets them stay in lane longer. You can always kind of just chill, play passive for a bit, and you'll regen your health in no time. And Garen can make squishy immobile champions completely useless in fights as well, while also tanking for his team. He's got great kill potential in 1v1 when he gets his ultimate, and if his team already has a fair amount of tank, you can also just build him into more damage too and just become a monster. Garen's just an overall versatile champion that's easy to play and doesn't get very punished for a lot of the small mistakes that you might make if you're new to the role. Moving on to the jungle, we've got Graves and Warwick. Graves has been dominant in solo queue for months now actually because his kit is fairly simple to understand and use effectively. He creates enormous amounts of early game pressure, he's got great snowballing potential, on top of being fairly tanky, especially in 1v1s, and hard to kill compared to other junglers. His smoke screen ability is very unique. There's not really many abilities in the game that limit vision like that. It's pretty ridiculous by itself, but Graves has just so much more than that. He takes low damage in the jungle, he's got high burst. It's great for someone just diving into the jungle role. Warwick as well is actually the original jungle champion of League of Legends, and almost 10 years later with several reworks of the jungle, and even Warwick himself, he's still a great option for newer players trying to learn the role. He's got great damage, survivability, crowd control, and he gets pretty tanky too. He doesn't carry as hard as maybe Graves or someone who builds a little bit more into the damage side of things, but he can definitely be a huge asset to any team. His ultimate's just a total game changer for picks and team fights, and the Blood Scent's a great chasing tool, and it kind of gives you this own thing in his gameplay kit that helps you track the enemy jungler, a very important part of learning the jungle role. His ganks aren't great before level 6, but that's alright, you can just focus on learning the jungling routes and the map awareness that you'll need when you do start hit ganks, and in general kind of just learn the ins and outs of jungle. Next up we've got mid lane, and we're taking a look at Annie and Vega for our picks for this role. Annie in particular has a very simple and straightforward kit. Her mechanics especially are notoriously simple for a mid lane champion. She's kind of just got her whole burst damage combo, and that's just about it. Personally, I love playing burst damage champions, and Annie has actually been kind of my favorite mid laner for quite some time. In general, the only tricky thing with her is kind of just positioning well and maybe setting yourself up for plays. The mechanics with her are so easy, and especially her Q lets you learn how to last hit really easily compared to other champions. You know, Annie's a great character if you're really not that good at last hitting, because her abilities just help you so much with it. She's also got a ton of carry and snowball potential. You know, if you get a lead on Annie, you're just going to destroy people, because at that point you can just build up your stun, press your ultimate, and you'll just pop them instantly. It's so much fun and it's really awesome. Well, for me at least, because I love playing Annie. She's also got a really nice long-range auto attack, which is going to help you play a little bit safe in lane if you need to, maybe avoid ganks and stuff like that. The only tricky thing is maybe judging positioning and ranges and knowing if you're able to go for a play or not, but in general the mechanics of the character are quite simple, and that positioning kind of aspect is something that you're going to need to learn as a mid laner in general on pretty much all champions for the mid lane. So it's a great option and it's going to help you learn the ins and outs of mid lane in general. Vega is another pick because he's pretty similar to Annie in that sense that he's super easy to understand mechanically, and he can also basically just one-shot tons of people when it comes to the mid and late game without requiring a significant degree of mechanical difficulty or skill shots. His big damage ult is a point and click ability. He's also super easy to farm with, and if he gets ahead, he's just insane, just like with Annie. His damage can be really nutty, and he's got a big AoE crowd control effect to help back up the team, and using your W, you can also just destroy tanks too. The difference with Vega and Annie being that Vega has much higher ranges on his abilities, meaning that you can kind of just stand in the back and zone with big damage Qs and Ws during team fights, and positioning mistakes will not be as punishing when you're playing Vega. He's a great pick for new mid laners, just don't make any short jokes. And heading down to the bottom lane, we've got AD carries, and for this one, my pick is Kaitlyn and Misfortune. Kaitlyn especially is a great AD carry when starting out with the role. She's got one of the highest base ranges in the game, which lets her easily abuse and bully the opponent, while also making CSing pretty easy while avoiding harass from maybe the enemy support. She's great for learning how to trade in lane because of her kind of fairly easy to use mechanical kit. You know, you can use your auto attacks with your Q, and she can also peel herself with her traps, and she's got an escape, which is a really nice tool to have that quite a few AD carries don't have. Her traps are a great zone control and help you get used to the whole zoning aspect of bot lane. She's probably the easiest AD carry to pick up and learn. Her kit in general is not that complicated mechanically, and really the high range on her auto attacks is just so nice and really awesome to have, and makes her a great choice for someone new to the bot lane AD carry position. Our other AD carry pick, Misfortune, she's also got a fairly straightforward kit and can be a huge bully in lane. Her Q's actually got a deceptively long range and can do some crazy high damage, while Strut lets her back off before the enemy even gets a chance to really dig in on her, or you could be using it offensively to secure kills. Her E is a very straightforward AoE damage and slow, and her ultimate is a monster of an ability that's going to allow you to play teamfights without requiring the intense mechanical skill that some of the more complex AD carry champions might require to succeed in teamfights. She's also just a strong meta pick at the moment, making her a great pick for this list. And with our final stop, we've got the support picks, and for this, we've picked Nami and Brahm. Nami's our first pick because she's fairly simple and can really help you learn the fundamentals of the support role. She's very good at winning trades in lane and peeling for AD carry with, well, basically her whole kit. She can be played aggressively or completely passive because of her damage abilities, crowd control, and her heals make mistakes in lane not that punishing really. She can also help aid your teammates' efforts to land skill shots using her E slow effect, and the bubble can help secure the heck out of some kills for your AD carry to win the lane and the rest of the game too. Her ult is extremely disruptive in teamfights and not that difficult to use, and works wonders to halt advancing or retreating enemies. Nami's whole kit is essentially just a dual function to work both offensively or defensively, and it's loaded with utility to help your AD carry and the rest of her team. Nami's definitely a great option to learn the ins and outs of the support role for sure. Now, if you want to play a support that's a bit on the tankier side, we have Brahm. He can set up engages, shield his teammates, peel for his AD carry. You know, he's one of the most reliable support champions out there, while also being super tanky and not really that complex mechanically. His ultimate's a giant AoE knockup with a great slow. He's got a team-based stun in his passive. You can kind of just hit the enemies once and let your teammates do the rest. And a shield that's going to keep you super safe and force your opponents to just take really small trades here and there. He can also be just insanely tanky and absorb ridiculous amounts of damage with that shield. It's probably the most annoying thing about him from an enemy's perspective. His knockup and engage is also way easier to land than something like Alistar's wombo combo, which definitely does take some practice to get used to. Brahm is generally just a bit safer to play than someone like Alistar or maybe Rakan, who have similar playstyles, but are maybe a little bit more tough on the mechanical side of things. Brahm also's got one of the best personalities in the game, making him a great pick for learning the role, I gotta say. And that's just about going to wrap up our list for champions to play when learning a new role. The experience can be fun, if not a little frustrating at some times, but hopefully these champions will help make the transition a little bit easier. The specific thing we especially focused on are champions that are going to allow you to focus on learning the aspect of the role, rather than champions that you're going to have to learn the role and the champion at the same time when you're playing them. So overall, hopefully this video helps some of you guys out there. I enjoyed putting this list together, so if you enjoyed it, hit that like button, let us know in the comment section below, subscribe if you want. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.